Christina, my darling, hello. It is Monday. I would like to wish you a beautiful week. May you be blessed in every way, my darling. Okay. Oops. Wow. Messages straight out of the bag. I am obviously going to start with my past life deck as I normally do. See what messages they come through for you. Obviously, when the soul retrieval is part of the healing, the messages can be quite different. Number one, they will show me exactly where I need to focus my energy for you. And what happens is you're basically calling back the lost, fragmented pieces of the soul. In your instance, I was given a very clear image of you as a young girl. You had two pigtails in your hair. You were in a field. Your teeth, I could see that your two front teeth were like coming through. And it was really, really very, very sweet to see you in that way. The whole process felt extremely sacred. But I know personally from doing a soul retrieval, especially when it is related to inner child stuff and childhood trauma, that it can be quite overwhelming. For me, it definitely was overwhelming the first time I had it done. So I'm sending you the biggest squeeze, and I hope that it has been integrated in a really calm and beautiful way for you to handle. So the follow-up, I'm going to see what messages they want to bring forward for you moving forward. And we will have a look and see what they would like to say to you. Okay, so, right. So the first card that jumped out of the deck was Orphan. Now, we know that this card can mean many different things, but I do know that there was definitely a very deep wound that you had, I'm going to say, really around the lower chakras, which is all about us feeling stable, us feeling really connected, us trusting, trusting intuition, trusting that we are watched over, that we're protected, and that everything feels grounded and beautiful. Now, when you go through any sort of trauma regarding a parent, if you are orphaned in any way, if there's any form of separation, it can cause massive separation anxiety, which is what I thought I was picking up on. I think I saw you at a very, very, very young age, and there was bedwetting, there was night terrors, there was bad dreams, and there would have been what I would describe as a severe separation anxiety and a really nervous energy. And the visual I had of you was of you laughing nervously, but it was almost out of a state of, because you didn't really know what else to do. So I'm hoping that once I remove that and called back those fragments, that once it integrates, you will feel a real deep sense of healing involved in this. But I will read some of these from the book for you. Okay, so the next card that came out is Phobias. Phobias, deep-rooted fears, often unconscious. When we grow up, we don't realize that we have taken certain aspects from our previous lives or from this life with us. What I will say is often they play out from life to life. So if you were a mother in a past life and you lost a baby, or you had some sort of a trauma where you couldn't keep your baby, or your baby was given up for adoption, or your baby was orphaned in some way, often the next lifetime round you will come in and you will swap roles. So the parent will become the child, and so on and so forth. And this dynamic will keep playing itself out until the healing is balanced, and when there is a peaceful harmony brought to the karma that is playing out from lifetime to lifetime. Hence, so important to release this trauma, to heal this trauma, to call back the fragments, because that in and of itself doesn't only heal you, it heals your future bloodline, it heals the karma for your children to step into, and it also heals the karma from your bloodline, from your ancestors. So really, really important. Okay, so the next card we have is Native American. Now, I didn't get any Native American vibes whatsoever, so I'm going to stick a pin in that and say we'll come back to it in a minute. We have a baby here. Now, I know that you have had past trauma before about losing a baby, so I am going to put that all on the top row. And again, I will work vibrationally and see what fits where. We have biblical. Now, this card can mean one of two things, but the main story that I get with this card is that you are a really old soul. Now, having had the pleasure and honor of doing more than one healing for you, I have seen you in multiple forms, in galactic form, in Egypt, in Atlantis, in a role as a priestess, in a role as an artist. So we know that you are an old soul, but you are also probably very connected to the Holy Lands and to the Jesus narrative on some level, whatever that level may be for you. Now, the next card you have is Monk or Nun. I don't know if you have ever had Monk or Nun come up in a previous one. I didn't look over your notes, maybe I should have done. But this could be related to a belief system that in one life you took on this role. Again, I will read what I need to from the book for you. It is coming out with religion and spirituality. So this card, it comes up nearly in every single reading, because the people that are called to do healing are the people who embody these roles from lifetime to lifetime, whether you are a scribe in the day of Jesus, whether you were one of the early Christians that was persecuted, whether you were one of the Essenes or one of the Gnostic sects that moved throughout Europe and they were highly persecuted. They were the keepers of the hidden knowledge, and from lifetime to lifetime they come in on these earthly missions knowing that there is something more than just 3D living, and their search for devotion and the connection to the divine stays with them from lifetime to lifetime. Now, this card also comes out with scribe and writer. So this for me is screaming the Gnostic texts. So we had people who, the Essenes were in Egypt. They were based in Qumran. The story is that Isis left Atlantis and moved to Egypt. And it was before Atlantis went down. And they went with the sacred knowledge, and here the women were priestesses, they were teachers, they were healers, they were scholars. It's a very different image of a woman that what we think of a woman was or was supposed to be in those days. But the fact that you have biblical monk or nun, scribe and writer, and spirituality and religion come out in one reading, I'm going to say that it is very much tied into those days and the Essene community and the Gnostic community. So maybe you would like to do some research involving that. I will obviously pull you more clarification, but your overall energy from the top of the deck here is persecution and inquisition. Now, trauma, persecution, all of these things, they stay within us until we release them. So I'm going to read some of these messages from the book for you, and you will know, my darling, within you where it resonates and what they're asking you to release and focus on right now. Right, persecution and inquisition. You drew this card as validation of your suspicions that you were accused of witchcraft or being a heathen or other crimes in the past. You suffered greatly as a result of ensuing persecution, and the fear of that has carried forward into this life. In the past, your character behaviors were examined publicly and you were blamed for crop failures, for deaths that had nothing to do with you. Your neighbours and the government accused you of casting spells, which were a capital offence. In reality, you were a good-hearted person, as you remain to this day, who has the ability to see into the future and to use energy for healing purposes. That lifetime has made you very sensitive to gossip and rumours. If someone falsely accuses you, you become fearful and upset, because that's the behaviour that led to your painful death in previous lifetimes. You may also be afraid to openly admit that you are a talented healer and a psychic. Unconsciously, you're keeping your spiritual skills a secret to avoid recreating the pain of the past. To heal from this, know that this current lifetime, spiritual teachers, healers are revered instead of feared. You agreed to incarnate into this lifetime because of your hard-won knowledge from previous lifetimes is needed in this world. And the fact that you are back on Earth shows you that no one can harm you or permanently prevent you from pursuing your spiritual path. So, persecution, witch trials. There isn't a spiritually based woman I know that hasn't somehow known that they are persecuted or they were burned in the flames and tortured in some reality because of their spiritual beliefs. You know, I would have been screwed. Just having red hair alone was enough to be branded as a witch. The truth is, the Catholic Church was trying to subdue anything to do with the women of the Essenes, who were the divine feminine, who were the teachers, who were the healers, who possessed these beautiful gifts and this knowledge. Throughout history, they have been persecuted and they have been hunted down. Now, as we are stepping into the golden age, all of these gifts are coming online. In order for these gifts to fully come online and this wisdom to be reawoken in us, we actually have to heal and deal with the trauma that would keep us in a spiritual closet. You know, I mean, it's the same of, I actually think you've shared this before, but there's a meme that goes around and it's a woman burning at the stake. And the message is something like, we were taught to fear the witch tied to the stake, but we weren't taught to fear the institution that had tied her to the stake and thought it was okay to burn her alive. So deeply rooted ancestral traumas around people hiding their gifts, hiding their intuition, and publicly being fearful for their own personal beliefs. All of this judgmental behavior is being stripped away. Anything that is not in divine will is being stripped away. All of these traumas that we hold within us, they're being brought to the surface to be healed now. Why? Because as we step into this beautiful golden age, we will be asked to step in fully. Yes, we have free will, but the ones who are asked, we will need to step into our power fully, which means owning all of the aspects of ourselves, owning our spiritual gifts, owning our spiritual ability, and using them for the betterment of everybody. So that is the really strong message that's coming through here, but I'm going to skip around a little bit and I'm going to put this over here and I'm going to bring the phobias card into the middle, because I believe that the phobias are related to the persecution and the inner child wounds that I picked up on. So this card comes to you compassionately to help you connect the dots between your current life phobias and your past lifetime. Often consciously remembering the past life source to your anxiety is enough to release their grip on you. The situation you are inquiring about has a basis in underlying fears and phobias. These fears are energy blocks, which are slowly which are slowing or prohibiting the results of your desire. Phobias to do with impulses that have complete mastery over situations that are out of your control. They may also bring up trust issues. Your higher self and your unconscious mind knows the original source of any phobias that you may have manifested. You can unearth the origins of these phobias through past life regression or even through dream work. For example, when you are falling asleep, ask your higher self to give you the information that you'll remember upon awakening that is related to the phobia. By directly confronting your underlying fears, you can lessen their hold on you and your unconscious. It is all about awareness. So you and I both know that I did your first healing. I gave you the notes. The notes didn't really mean anything to you on a really deep, profound way until you had the dream. And then your higher self brought you the information in your dream time, and then you were able to fully claim it as your past life, and then the notes made sense. Then the thing on your shoulder that you've just had removed, sorry, I don't know what to call it, the anomaly, the scar, the growth, that didn't all tie together until your higher self brought you the information. You've now had that removed and the healing was done. And during the process of the healing, obviously there was other aspects that came forth where fragmentation had occurred at a soul level. So we're calling back these pieces. Now, what happens when these pieces come back? They are brought back in a state of unconditional love. They're brought back by Yeshua, by Jesus, by the Divine Mother and Father, by Christ Sophia, by the angelic team, by your higher self. These pieces are able to be called back and they are able to be integrated back in. And when this integration happens at a soul level, there is a beautiful, profound release of phobias and fears that have plagued you, that have played out from lifetime to lifetime. But when we call back these pieces and all the pieces fit back together, there is this, I want to say, an indescribable sense of wholeness, that you always knew that there was something that didn't quite fit, that there was something that just felt like you were missing, like I don't belong here, or I don't quite feel safe here, or I don't really feel like I fit into this group or that group. And when you call back these fragmented aspects of yourself, it's almost like sometimes for the first time in your life you can feel whole, and that wholeness brings a really profound connection to the higher self. And once that connection is made from this new state of wholeness, you find all these insights start flooding in, and you're able to really step into a whole new heightened awareness and a sense of self. I mean, for me, it was really profound. I had dyed my hair blonde for 20 odd years. And I did my soul retrieval, and the next day I went out and dyed my hair red. There was a reason, because I suffered childhood abuse. I didn't want to look like the little girl. So when I looked in the mirror, I didn't want to look like that little girl. I was 44 when I did my soul retrieval, and I was ready to embrace my inner child, and I was ready to hold a sacred space for her. And I was ready to visually look in the mirror and own my red hair again, to own the inner child wounds that I had ignored for so long, that I had stuck a pin in it and said, I will get to you someday. But I never got there. It took me that long. Now, obviously, I'm integrating my story, but I'm just talking about how profound it can be when we do the soul retrieval and we call back these aspects of ourself that have in some ways been long forgotten, but they affect us daily in how our story plays out. So We've spoke about the phobias. I believe the phobia card is connected to, again, what you experienced with the baby from the past life, with you as a child suffering this separation anxiety from your mum not being there. And we're now moving over to this, which is your little dynamic of the spirituality that has played out in your life since biblical days. Now, I'm going to say that you got scribe or writer card come up, I do believe, which was in the first one I ever did for you. And I do believe there was a message about you writing a book, if I'm remembering correctly. So I'm going to read this one for you now. It said the card reveals that you had a career as a writer or a scribe in a past lifetime. It may be why you currently desire to write. You have a natural thinking style of someone who can organize thoughts into the written word. The fact that you have the discipline to sit down and write in a previous lifetime shows that you can exercise the same trait in this life. If you dream of being a published author, the card urges you to pursue the path. Do research on writing and publishing, and more importantly, write every day. This can be in the form of journaling, letters, creative writing, non-fiction, such as blogging and articles. If you have a strong enough desire to be a published author and you are willing to put in the effort, you can attain your dream. So this card showing up again, you might be called to write a book. You might be called to write more thoughts about your dreams coming through, about the soul's journey, about the healing process, that in 6 months' time you can look back over the notes and visually see for yourself just how much you've grown in those 6 months, or visually write down how you feel, and in 6 months' time you might decide that you are turning that into a book or an article that you want to share in some way, and we know that you share quite a lot. But yeah, interesting to see how you feel connected to this. Now, I'm going to go to the biblical card next. When you read about Jesus, Moses, or other biblical figures, you know that there is more to the story because you were there. Either you were a follower of Jesus and Moses, or you lived in the Holy Land. You may have had lives alongside other famous biblical figures. As a result, traditional religious interpretations of the Bible don't ring true to you. You know in your heart and soul what really happened. As such, you tend to follow your own religious beliefs and your spiritual path. So, traditional religion, not your thing. It's because you have walked many spiritual lives of devotion. And in each one of those, you have come to the realization that within every holy book there is deception. Within every single scripture that humanity has laid its hands on has been misinterpreted, has been mistranslated and misused in some way. So the path of devotion from lifetime to lifetime is about finding your own path. It is about walking a path of devotion. And understanding that what you believe at the heart center doesn't need to make sense to anyone else. It is about understanding that a belief is a personal thing, and even though you can be comfortable sharing your beliefs publicly, no one in the public has a right to judge you. No one in the public has a right to put you down in any way, shape or form, because God has gifted us all with free will, and we get to choose who we are, what we do, and how we function on a daily basis. So I'm going to come back over here and I am going to talk about male and female. Now, this card for me has a message in the book that I don't resonate with at all. But I will talk about the fact that each soul, especially ones that have been around since antiquity, have swapped genders. In some roles we will come in as a male, in other roles we will come in as a female. Sometimes I find that I tune into their energy and they have been these masculine male warriors and leaders of armies and generals and so on, and then they come in as a female and they have to really step into their power. And this is designed because every life is that way, to show the soul where it needs to grow. And we always come in and embody a different role in order to learn certain lessons. So how are you in your masculine and your feminine energy? This card says to me, do you feel like there's a good balance? Do you have more health issues on one side of the body than on the other side of the body? Tune into your energy, sit with your masculine, sit with your feminine. Does your masculine and your feminine need a little rebalancing after your soul retrieval? How do you look at the aspects of your inner child? How does the inner child within you feel after the soul retrieval? There is, I have seen you in, well, it wasn't a Native American one, but you were a warrior. You were an Amazonian female warrior who embodied all the masculine qualities on the back of a horse, riding wild and free and strong, and you were powerful. So I have seen you embodying the beauty of the feminine and the strength of the masculine in your prior lifetimes. The interesting thing is, how are you balancing them now as you upgrade? And this is the whole thing about, we are going into the golden age. And as we step into the golden age and we get an upgrade, we will sometimes notice, oof, my right side isn't feeling quite there. And that means that there are some blocks. We obviously know one side of the body is masculine, one side of the body is feminine. So after your healing, after your soul retrieval, do you think that you are standing in your power a little bit more? Do you think that you are embodying more compassion, more empathy? These will affect the masculine and the feminine. And obviously the goal is to completely integrate the duality of the masculine, of the feminine. When they become one, we merge with heaven on earth and we can truly anchor in this beautiful energy. We then start to become more of a god in essence, because we are merging with all of the aspects of the feminine, of the masculine, of these beautiful spirit animals, which come in very heavily tied to this card. So because the Native American card has come up and I was guided to talk about spirit animals, I am going to say that maybe you have had some new spirit animals come in since this, or maybe you have had some ties to the Native American past life come back. Again, I need to look over your notes and see if this has come up beforehand. I don't remember. The card signifies that you had an important past life as a Native American, which is connected to your current life's journey. If you have been drawn to Native American artifacts, cultures, and spirituality, this is because they are familiar to your soul. Studying Native American teachings can help you awaken ancient memories and knowledge that you have already stored within you. This card can also signify indigenous cultures from other cultures, other countries as well. So we know that we have seen you as an Amazonian warrior, and the fact that it is coming up with the baby card, it tells me that there might have been aspects of the soul retrieval that came back that were connected indeed to what we picked up in previous healings as well. Now, I am going to leave that there for the reading messages, and I am now going to jump into the Ascended Masters, who massively have been coming online for me over the past few days. I have been quite bombarded. The energy yesterday completely floored me to the point where I had my table set up and I thought, right, I'm going to start working now. No, not now. I came back 6 or 7 times and the day was a wipeout. I was bombarded with messages from the Ascended Masters, but they were for me. So yesterday they wanted me to focus on my own personal stuff that I'm integrating and healing right now. So let's see what they have to bring you for these dynamics that are playing out right now. Okay, thank you. one more for here. Okay, so clarification on phobias. Okay. Okay. Right. And yeah. Okay. Okay, here we go. I knew that one was still in there. Okay. So your overall energy in this deck is Dwal Cool, Dharma unfolding. So you know Dharma is positive karma, blessings that you have built up, and they are now being brought to your life. And it says, remember, you are on the path to happiness. Take one step at a time. So on top of the Native American card, we have Commander Ashtar, call to action. And it says, take charge, lead by example, and walk your talk. So you are going to be asked to step into light worker duties, and you are going to basically have a call to action where you will have to step into a role where you're going to be helping someone by taking charge of a situation, leading by example, and walking your talk. So the next card out is Radha, and it is Soul Flame. Rediscover a lost part of yourself and experience relationship harmony and healing. So we have a beautiful little girl in this card, and this is clarification that the soul healing and the soul discovery was a rediscovery of a lost part of yourself. So now that you have claimed that part back, you will experience relationship harmony and healing. So as they say, the relationship with self and that feeling of wholeness and that feeling of completeness affects every relationship in your life, every single dynamic, whether it's familial, whether it's romantic, whether it is friendships, where there is trauma and where there is pain, trust, hope, comfort, peace will be missing. We release the trauma, we release the pain, we call back those fragments into a vibrational state that is sacred, that is unconditional love, and it brings wholeness, which brings peace, and that beautiful vibration of wholeness and peace will have a ripple effect, and that will spread out and infuse into every relationship situation in your life. So on top of the male and female energy and the balance of the yin and yang, we have Horus and the cosmic gateway. So your thoughts are magnetic and powerful. Miraculous changes are occurring. So this balance of these new energies, because of the healing, are bringing miraculous changes. And the effect of that, the ripple effect of that, is then going to play out in a really magnetic and powerful way. And it is the cosmic gateway, Horus. So the beautiful, beautiful Horus, the eagle, is here with the higher insight to tell you that now is the cosmic gateway for this healing to happen, and that miraculous changes are going to occur. And Seraphis Bay then comes in, and the miraculous changes that are occurring is ascension. Move into your true self, rise above the darkness, the light is here. So powerful and beautiful. So on top of phobias, we have a beautiful Mother Mary, but the Asian version of Kuan Yin, and it is care and compassion. Choose to be love and do what is right for everyone involved. Offer a helping hand. So Kuan Yin, beautiful mother vibration of peace, stability, being held, knowing that you are safe, knowing that you can trust the world around you, that you can trust your environment, and most importantly, that you can trust yourself, that you are protected and you are safe. The next card that we have is Mercury and open communication. Get a weight off your chest, speak up with love and be heard. So as we release the fears and phobias, we have the beautiful Kuan Yin that comes in to wrap you up with care and compassion, so that you can choose to be love and that you can offer a helping hand. And the helping hand is open communication. Get a weight off your chest, speak up with love, and be heard. And then we have Isis, magic manifesting. So your dreams, visions, and your goals will become a reality. Stay focused. So on top of this little dynamic playing out to the right hand side of me, we have Gaia and Earth connection. Be mindful of the planet, come back down to Earth and stay grounded. So you can feel very, very, very flighty. I did explain this to you in a voice note, that when we do a soul retrieval, the healing itself is done in the highest realms of heaven, and then we can feel slightly flighty afterwards. So grounding, getting outside in nature, drinking lots of water, making sure that you are grounding in these new frequencies, these light codes, and this beautiful healing. So always nice to have that reminder. And we have Mata Varata Babaji, which is soul expansion. So what do we want after a soul retrieval healing? We want soul expansion. Your consciousness is expanding. You are understanding the connections between all things. So as we call back these lost fragments, as we integrate them, there is a feeling of wholeness. The soul is then able to expand in awareness, in love, in compassion, in empathy, most of all for itself. So you end up in this beautiful state of healing and wholeness. And again, the ripple effects travel out and they affect everything in our life. And then what is coming for you after the soul expansion is Lord Ganesha with infinite abundance. Obstacles are being removed. Spiritual support and connections are increasing. So beautiful. I am now going to pull you some affirmations and some crystals for you to work with in each dynamic. Now, again, you know me, I work very heavily with crystals. They are amazing for aura support, for protection, to help you anchor in light codes, to help you be grounded, to help amplify and strengthen the aura, so you are getting supreme protection. So thank you one more for Kuan Yin, Mercury, and Isis. Please, can I have one more? Thank you. And this dynamic here, please. The spiritual journey, the scribe, writer, Gaia. Thank you. Yeah, okay. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, so we are starting over here with Shell Fossil, and it says, are you ready to uncover the memories and the wisdom that is stored within your consciousness? Spiral inward to understand your dreams and your visions. Recognize the value of the past and use it as a stepping stone for the future. You have much wisdom inherent within you. Use it. Archangel Jophiel, wisdom is stored in my cells and my bones. I am consciousness. I am conscious of my intelligence. I tap into my ancestral knowledge. Meditation becomes naturally to me. I go within for guidance every day. I integrate and process all that I perceive with ease. So, beautiful card there. This one is Colbolton Calcite, and it says, are you in love? Are you craving health and feelings of well-being? Become a conduit for allowing heaven and earth to meet at your center. It is time to acknowledge the essence of divine love in you. Take the time to nurture yourself. Imagine yourself in the arms of the Divine Mother. Archangel Jophiel, I activate and embrace divine love. My emotions are balanced. I am clear, joyful, compassionate, and tolerant. The qualities of unconditional love, mercy, and understanding emanate from my being. And the next card we have here is Pink Tourmaline, which is all about healing the heart chakra and the relationship with self, activating the higher heart, which then brings in an expansion of compassion and empathy. So the message on the card is, do you treat yourself well? What kind of self-talk is going on in your mind? Pay attention to how well you treat yourself. Be aware of your inner mind chatter and make changes towards love. Treat yourself the way you want to be treated. It is time to awaken your consciousness and focus on the love you have for yourself. And it is Archangel Chamuel, and the affirmation is, unconditional love is mine today and always. Every cell in my being vibrates with the rate of love. I feel good, I feel happy, I am grateful. The energy of my own loving vibration nurtures my thoughts and feelings. So we've got some beautiful messages there. Okay, so on top of this phobias card, we have golden calcite. It says, do you feel like you are fulfilling your soul purpose? Do you know what your strengths are? It is time to become the person you are meant to be. Align yourself with a strong sense of self and actualize your full potential. Live up to your dreams, your desires, your contracts, and radiate your excellence. And it's Archangel Ariel. It is safe for me to shine my light brightly. I am self-confident. I recognize my self-worth. It is easy for me to set boundaries. My internal brilliance shines, and I have the courage to be all that I can be. And the next one we have is Limar. Very connected to the throat chakra, very connected to Atlantean Lemurian souls, and people who are highly empathic. And the emphasis for me is always cleansing, cleansing, cleansing. You need to cleanse yourself with water through ritual baths and so on. So, do you have an affinity with the dolphins? Have you found that you feel so much better after spending time at the seashore? It is time to spend time by the ocean. Connect with the healing, salty energy of the salt water and its cleansing properties in order to support your health, both physically and emotionally. And it's Archangel Thuriel. I breathe in life completely. I am in touch with my emotions. It is easy for me to relax into the ebb and flow of life. I am balanced. I am whole. I am complete. So beautiful. I want you to say that all the time. I am balanced. I am whole. I am complete. What a beautiful affirmation for soul retrieval. Now, over this dynamic over here, the first card out is Copper. One that is coming up, I have just got myself a copper pyramid, copper period, a copper pyramid. Copper, really important for the energies right now, really important for grounding in everything right now. Everyone that is coming to me is looking for copper, so you may want to introduce copper into your life in some way. It says, do you need some motivation to transform your reality? Do you find that your mind is wandering? Are you trying to stay focused? If so, you need to find your passion and begin experience the rewards that come with living it. Do what you love. Prosperity is yours, but you must take action. So the affirmation is Archangel Zadkiel. I am safe. I have constant protection surrounding me, deflecting anything that is not of my highest good. I have the courage and the self-confidence to create my world. It is easy for me to take action and move forward in life with joy and enthusiasm. So beautiful card there. The next one is Slugite. I'm losing daylight rapidly here, even though it's only like 3 p.m. So I apologize if it's difficult to see. It says, are you experiencing repetitive thoughts or incessant mind chatter? Do you grab onto a thought, a memory, or a life experience and chew it over and over again? It is time to let go and release the situations from your past. Whether it was 5 minutes ago or 5 years ago, find true peace and inner happiness. And it's Archangel Uriel. The affirmation is, I am a miracle worker. Love is vibrating in all the aspects of my being. I easily transform and transmute negative energy. I release the past and I move forward with love. I attract inner peace and great joy every day in many ways. I see the bigger picture. And your last crystal is lapis lazuli. And it says, are you listening to your inner guidance? Let go of extra stress in your life. Release obstacles that cause frustration. Align with the angels and allow divine orchestration to light your path and bring you to the right place at the right time. Flow and allow your inner guidance to show you the way. Listen to the still small voice within in order to find the answers that you seek. And it is Archangel Michael. I am focused. I see, I sense, I feel, I know the truth. I follow my intuition, for it's easy for me to meditate. My entourage of angels orchestrate my life. I receive messages all the time and I follow my internal guidance system. Wisdom is innate to me. So, beautiful, beautiful messages. I'm now going to pull you some dragon energy. Now, these dragon cards are amazing. Integration, light codes. Oh, okay, that's too many dragon cards. What they want you to focus on in your path of ascension. Right now, the energy of this deck has been so spot on. So I will pull you two of these and then I will close down. Wow. Okay, so, oh, I love this. You got the golden Christed dragon. So, brings you higher love so that you can embody the Christ light. Absorb the Christ light. You are protected. Expand your heart and remain in the 5th dimension. Now, obviously my new healing modality is done with the golden energy of the golden age, straight from the throne room of God, but it is done with the divine Father and Mother in balance and Christ Sophia, because that is the golden energy of what I am as a healer. And this golden vibration that has been gifted to me is all about helping people heal their traumas in order to be able to fully embody the golden Christ Sophia vibration in readiness for the golden age. So I love that you got this. And the next one is also gold. You got the white golden dragon from Lyra. Lyran also very connected to my connections of where I'm from in the galaxy. And it says, develop your causal chakra, bathe in 9th dimensional Christ light. So beautiful energy here, which I am going to read for you now. So, oh. Right, golden Christed dragon. Golden Christed dragons are 5th dimensional dragons with a huge golden energy field. They can access the Christ light of unconditional love at 9th dimensional frequency, which is the highest facet of love energy that is available to us in this time, and pour it into us in the maximum level we can absorb. They will come to us on our birthday or special occasions or celebrations and flood us with the cosmic gift of their special light. They will also come to us if we call to them. They will surround our aura with their protective golden light, enabling us to remain 5th dimensional. The guidance. You are blessed to receive this card. For the luminous golden Christed dragons will automatically flood you with the purest Christ light. They will remind you that your heart is incredibly powerful and will pour pure love into the center of it in order to open it up further. Be ready to accept this love and then to spread it to others. These dragons also come to remind you that you have a special connection to the golden era of Atlantis. This may be an incarnation or in your spirit body. It is time to remember who you are So ask the golden Christed dragons to help you bring forth your gifts and talents in your dream state. What the golden Christed dragons give to you, you can pass to others. So radiate the golden Christ energy to those with whom you are in contact today. Oh, such beautiful. I just love these cards. Wow. So the next one is the white golden dragon from Lyra, and that is number 98. Right. Lyra is the cross-shaped 12th dimensional stargate through which Archangel Christiel and the unicorns enter our universe. I will just say as well that when I am doing soul retrieval, the unicorns and the dragons assist in that process. The light from Lyra pours down through the moon, allowing scintillating 7-dimensional dragons to step through into the vibration on Earth. These white gold dragons embody the highest frequency of the Christ light available to everyone on this planet. They work closely with Archangel Christiel, who is in charge of the development of the causal chakra of humanity. This is particularly important now, as our causal chakra is our connection to our higher dimensions of spirit. The dragons, the angels, the unicorns, the masters, the white gold dragons from Lyra help to clear and develop our causal chakra and illuminate our highest possible ascension path. Also, I will say the causal chakra is part of my new healing modality, and the clearing and the activating is also part of your healing. So this is a beautiful confirmation. These white golden dragons are attracted to you now because you already carry the Christ light in your aura. Ask one to take you to the 9th dimensional pool of Christ energy held in Lukame. Visualize yourself bathing in the pool with shimmers and spirals with pure love and light. Feel yourself absorbing all that you are ready to receive. When you return, continue to feel the white gold light in your aura and practice pure unconditional love in your daily life. Your aura will radiate with an incredibly high frequency of white gold, and the white gold dragon from Lyra will support you as you continue to pour Christ light into you. Take time to find a quiet place where you can listen to its wisdom and its guidance. Wow. So, on that note, my darling, I will close down your reading. I hope that these messages have given you extra clarity and have brought you peace and blessings on this beautiful day. I'm sending you much love, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.